Welcome back. Today there's been so much news. So in this video we're only going to look at what's coming in the Sims 4 base game update. So this is for everyone, this is completely free, and there's so much to cover. The Sims did a 2.5 hour live stream this morning for me, the first 30 minutes of which is all covering the base game, so we're gonna have a look at that because there's some actually really cool things coming. We're looking at infants, we're looking at changes to some of the baby's new items, new features. I think it's literally gonna change the way that we play The Sims 4. And that's not even mentioning the actual expansion pack. All the stuff that they showed off coming in that, whoa! The 100 baby challenge is never gonna be the same. Okay, first of all, sorry to SimGuru Graham and SimGuru Morgan. I'm just gonna put my head here so I'm not blocking anything else. It's nothing personal, I swear. There's already a bunch of stuff we can kind of see here, but they explain a lot more of it as we go on, so don't worry. So the first thing they do, which is really cool, is they're showing us these are all the things coming in the base game, like I said. So this is all free. Everyone's gonna get this: console, PC, Mac. They've added a whole bunch of bassinets, as you can see. They've kind of just laid out all the different color options for us. And they mentioned as well, this is the first bassinet they've added to the game, or to the base game, since 2014. So that's nice. We finally got a new one. So we got like a little toy basket down here. We've got some new, this new lamp at the back with the little fox hanging off it. And these little mats as well kind of look like little infant play mats. Of course, you could just use them as a regular rug as well. But you can even see here, they've added so many different swatches to all this stuff. So there's a lot of like applications for them too. Ooh, and I love this little coffee table that they've added. Not only for like infant stuff is it good because it's really low, but I have wanted like a little circular coffee table for so long. We have one in Tiny Living stuff, which is great. But this is beautiful too. I'm so excited for that item. Yeah, so we got a good view of the little bassinets here, which I think is much, I guess it's a lot more contemporary, you know, it's much more 2023 than 2014, I think, which is nice. Got a little bit of an update in items there. And oh, you can see all the sort of different rug textures they've got down here, which is really nice because the sort of children and toddler rugs that we have in base game, again, kind of look like, well, 2014 Sims 4 base game. These look much nicer. And we have this giant new llama toy as well. Plenty of colors on that as well. And I love this little sort of towel rack stand here. I think it's like nappies up the top, little towels and all that, so you can have it in your nursery. So they've added a whole bunch of stuff basically to actually make a nursery, because if you saw my video recently where I was having a newborn in my Let's Play, I was kind of like, well, we have this baby, but there's literally nothing really to put in the room. Like there is, but not really. So this update just adds so many items that make sense and also look cute in a nursery. So here on the wall, these like little children's books as well. You can see this is actually a bookcase too. So that's really nice. You can put it up on the wall in their bedroom, and it's a functional bookcase, as you can see here. And actually along the tables here, there's a whole bunch of different clutter items. I mean, it's kind of hard to see because the resolution of the stream is a little low and they didn't really zoom in. But it kind of looks like baby wipes there, maybe a pile of nappies, some ointments and powder maybe. You know, a bunch of different little things that can definitely make sense around the room. Lots of decoration. This one Morgan really likes, and also I do too, because actually the recolors of this one actually changes the little animal there. So it's like a little koala in there, a little panda. It's really cute. So we got 3 new toys here. We got the Kinder Rattle, the little squeak heart, prepare your ears, qualified best buddy. Aww. Now, they also mentioned each of these 3 toys have unique sounds that they make. So when you're playing with them, you'll hear new audio sound effects, which is really nice. So it's just a new thing for your kids to play with, or toddlers to play with, infants to play with, that is a little bit more unique as well. So you get a really good view of all these different rugs here. I think there's some really nice, more just a little bit simple ones. Like you got almost like the Toy Story clouds down here, just some polka dots. But then you got like space and dinosaurs, rainbows, mountains, a lot of different options. And you can see on these little rugs up here as well, there's like the little fox one, the little nighttime one. A lot of really nice rugs for the kids. Oh, watermelon rug, yeah. They also didn't really mention it, but it looks like we have some new sort of fairy lights that look like they are stars from what I can see. So just some new lights there on the wall. So we also have a brand new fence and matching gate, which is obviously very playpen inspired, but this is like a regular build mode fence. And you can see all the different colors here. And it's good because there's like pretty much just a plain white one here and a plain black one. So you can just use this in any application. They are quite low fences though. So I don't know if it would maybe look silly if you're just trying to use like a white fencing as a regular fence. I don't know. I will have to see in build mode. But yeah, really nice. So just a new free fence to create your own little playpen. So the other thing you can do for it is actually apply baby proofing. And that's not just on this one. This is on every gate and door. Pretty much anything you can lock. You can now apply baby proofing, which, as it implies, just will stop babies, well, babies can't move, but infants and toddlers from going through the gate. So if you wanted to have them specifically in one area or in a playpen, you can do that. And obviously you can apply it to a door. So if you don't want your toddler wandering out the front onto the street, which they tend to do from time to time, I've had it happen, you can then just only lock the doors for infants and toddlers, essentially, which is great because it just helps be a little bit more realistic in that sense, I think. All right, this floor is the most 100 baby challenge thing I've ever seen. No, but basically this is a brand new item that they're adding to the game, obviously to go with infants and toddlers. It is the crib. So you can see there are 3 different cribs coming for base game. This one at the top, again, we'll get a close look in a second. This one at the top, which is portable, you can drag it into your inventory, move it around the lot while in live mode. So you can take it wherever you travel. So you can bring your toddlers and infants with you and have them in the crib. And then there's this one in the middle, which is, oh wait, sorry, there's actually 4 cribs. Sorry, I missed this one here. This one in the middle, which matches all like the mission styled furniture. And then there's this one, which is, you know, the classic Sims 4 children's bedroom set. And then there's this one here as well. That's a newer one, which as you can see, can actually transform. And I think some of the other ones can do that as well. Probably these ones, but we'll see more of that in a second. Yeah, so we get a little bit of a better look at here at some of them. I really like this, you know, this one here. It's just much more, I guess, generic looking. And it kind of looks like a nice crib you'd pick up somewhere that wasn't too expensive. Yeah, so these ones can all transform into toddler beds. So basically, if your once your infant grows up into a toddler, your sim can upgrade those cribs into the toddler beds. Or as you can see here, you can convert it back into a crib. So you don't have to buy a new bed. And, you know, in real life, a lot of this is pretty common that you would have a crib that you can just remove the sides from and like convert it. And here is the portable one, as you can see, that you can just drag in your inventory, move it around with you. Lots of different colors on it as well, which is really nice. So they've added a brand new interaction here called a science baby, and you can have it with another sim or as a single parent. And this is essentially a way to tell a lot of different stories, whether that be like a surrogate pregnancy, IVF, donor, all that kind of stuff. You can now do that without having to have another sim that your sim can have babies with. So alongside adoption and conception, you now have the science baby as well. So there's pretty much all the different ways that you could think of telling the story of having a baby. And I think this is a really nice feature to finally add back into the game, because I believe Sims 3 also had this. So when you have a science baby with, rather than just by yourself, you can actually choose pretty much any sim that you're friendly with. I assume you have to be friendly with them, because it'd be weird if you weren't. But they don't have to be a romantic interest. They don't have to be anything other than platonic, which is really nice. So in that sense, it would just be like a donor sim, but you can still get their genetic. And obviously this allows you to tell the story of same-sex couples having babies together, which is really nice. So you can have the genetics from both parents, and it works out beautifully that way. So yeah, this is a brilliant new feature, and I'm really excited for this, because I think this could be really useful in our upcoming Growing Together Let's Play, that's for sure. So in this case, Eliza is choosing to have a baby with Bella Goth, whilst Bob is right there. You know, poor Bob and Eliza, their marriage has just been so rough since 2014, but they're hanging in there. Maybe this new infant will bring them closer together. So there we go, with Bella Goth. You can see, hey Bella, would you like to have a science baby with me? Yeah, let's go. Okay, yeah, so Morgan just said they have to be some degree of friends, so you can't just meet some random person on the street and have a baby with them, which is probably a good thing. So they basically walk off the lot and they have a science baby. Basically just make sure you actually want to do that. Are you ready to add a newborn to your household? And Morgan also mentioned that you can potentially have twins through this feature. So you don't know whether it's just going to be one or twins. I don't know if triplets are possible, but twins, it's definitely a possibility from doing this. So yeah, you just wait a little bit, they walk off lot, and then you get your baby. Now, I guess the only criticism I'd have of this, and I think a few people said this, is that it's pretty much instant. Like you walk off for like, I don't know if it was even like an in-game hour, and then you have the baby. I mean, to be honest, I don't think it really matters, but maybe they could have also either had it take time, like Eliza maybe disappears for a day, because if they just did a regular pregnancy, that would limit the idea of what Science Baby is, if that makes sense. So if Eliza came back and was pregnant for 3 days, that can only tell a small subset of Science Baby stories, you know what I mean? So maybe they could disappear off the lot for like a day or something like that. I don't know. I think it's kind of a little bit difficult to get the exact right thing going on here, but I mean, you just get the baby instantly. So if you want an instant baby, science will do that for you. Welcome to the family Amelia Pancakes. Yeah. So here Graham is talking about, thankfully they finally updated babies, not just infants, they've updated babies. So originally, and this is a problem I literally just had in my Let's Play, babies in The Sims 4 only had 3 skin tones, and that was it. You know, just the 3 to cover everything. In this update, they can have every single skin tone that any other sim can have. So it'll be much more representative of the family, the genetics, and a lot more realistic in that sense, which is good, because it was pretty bad. I mean, it was at the point where the baby in-game didn't even match like the little thumbnail shot they had down there. Like, it was bad. So this is really good. They can now have any skin tone that any other sim can have. They also have the same genetic eye color that they would get from, you know, the parents or whoever. So they have the new eye colors. They also mentioned they've changed the overall appearance and like the way the babies move and sort of interact with the Sims as well. So they're a lot more like a newborn would be. So they try to make the newborn a lot younger seeming, like, you know, the first few days after coming back from the hospital rather than the first few years. So one big thing that they did with the babies is now that when you're doing multiple interactions, you know, like cuddle, bounce, talk to, all that kind of stuff, they mentioned they smoothed out the interaction. So, you know, your Sim's not putting the baby down, starting it again, so that it's all sort of one thing, much more natural, and it feels like the baby isn't an object. They also made it so if your baby's crying or needs attention, one of the carers in the household would automatically go and tend to the baby rather than just leaving the baby crying. So that's good. And also, this one's kind of funny, but yeah, if you had your baby outside in a storm or in the snow, they would kind of just be fine. They'd just do whatever. But now they will actually react to that and cry and be upset that they're outside in the weather. So thankfully they've gone back and updated that as well. Arguably probably should have been done when seasons came out, but it's done now. So that's good. That's much more realistic. So it's really cool with the show off to interaction, which is just this one here. We go show off to, and then you can select a sim. They've apparently made that work better. And if you have a toddler in the household, you can actually show the newborn to the toddler, which I think will be super cute. I don't think they showed it here, but that's very sweet. So they also added a brand new interaction for children and toddlers where they can click on the baby and click entertain, which is really cute as well. And they can just be silly and sort of get to know, you know, their new sibling a little bit better, which is really cute. So the other big change that they mentioned, and they didn't give any specifics, I'm not quite sure why, but I guess it might depend on the lifespan. They mentioned they shortened the period of time that it takes for a newborn to age up into an infant. By default, normal lifespan is 3 days, so I guess, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 days. And then they also mentioned that they extended the other life stages. So, you know, I guess like, so that you're not rushing through all the life stages. And I think it just also means that the parents don't become elders by the time the child is a teenager. So it should hopefully be balanced out pretty well. I would hope so, but that's what they were mentioning. So that's pretty much what they covered for newborns and the babies. But now we're going to get a look at the toddlers, not toddlers. We've already seen toddlers. We're going to look at the infants, which also have their own custom traits, which is really cute. They've got 6 different traits just here: cautious, sensitive, calm, intense, wiggly, and sunny. Unfortunately, they didn't hover over all the descriptions for all of these, but we did get 4 of the descriptions. So cautious, these Sims appreciate the familiar, but are slow to warm to new experience, locations, and Sims, which is actually referencing a lot of the new ways that the infants will experience and learn about the world. They will decide whether they like or dislike certain foods and sort of grow and adapt to what they're experiencing in the game, which is really, really cool. And we'll see a bit more of that soon. So calm, these Sims like to watch the world, are less likely to cry or become angry, and don't grow tired of activities as easily as other infants. However, they are less likely to explore the world on their own. So I guess in that case, you have to sort of encourage them and help them along with exploration, if you want to do that. Sunny Sims, these are busting with smiles and giggles and enjoy engaging with other Sims, but they do require more social attention. I think even just in those 3 descriptions so far, you can kind of see the range of infants is going to be pretty good, I'd say. I like the little icon for Wiggly as well, and I'm also just imagining the animations with Wiggly. They don't hover over what the actual description is, but I think the icon gives us a pretty good idea. And then Intense is the last one they show off. These Sims have big emotions and are easily entertained, but they are also more difficult to calm when in a bad mood. Which means I guess they have higher highs and lower lows, so that'll be rough. Whoa! Hang on, that baby's like floating. Check out this age up animation. Hang on, here it is. It like floats down on a cloud to the ground. Aw, look at the little infant. So here they're showing off infants in Creator Sim. As you can see already, the genetic eye color is showing through on the infants as well. It does on the babies, as I mentioned before, but the infants are fully customizable in Creator Sim too, which is awesome. So they have a bunch of clothes here. I think there's a lot of sort of similar matching things to toddlers, but there's also a lot of unique new pieces too, which is really nice. Oh, that one is so cute. It looks so comfy. Yeah, there's a bunch of cute outfits for toddlers. Oh, toddlers. Yeah, there's a bunch of cute outfits for the infants, all different categories here as well. Obviously, no swimwear or athletic wear. but yeah, so we got all the categories up there, the cold weather wear and hot weather wear included as well. So they got a nice wide range of items. And also, I guess I'm going to assume with growing together, they're probably adding a whole bunch as well. Oh, the little ears are so cute. So they've added some really good accessories as well for the infant. So you can see here we got some glasses here for the infant. And they've also added in a helmet for the babies as well. So I believe when the head needs to be reshaped or held in position so that it can form correctly, you'd have the baby helmet. And in this case, they've added it to the Sims as well. So if you want to tell that story, you can. And they have, of course, a lot of cute recolors of it as well, which is really nice. Make it a little fun. Oh, that is amazing. The aviators. It's like a little pilot. Oh, the classic base game toddler hair there as well. Look at the one below this one. Classic. But yeah, nice little hair options here. Yeah, a few different options here as well. That's cute, the little tiny one on the side. Nice little baby infant hair there as well coming in. And there's some very cute hairstyles as well. So there's a nice few choices. And I'm excited to see what comes in the expansion as well, actually, alongside these. The teeth. You can have no teeth, you can have bottom teeth, or just the top and the bottom. That's awesome. So along with birthmarks, I added a thing called stalk bites, which is something that babies and newborns will often have, which is basically just a mark on the skin that as they grow will fade over time and it sort of disappears. And the same thing happens in the game here, where you can apply it to an infant and the stalk bites will fade as they grow up. But then there's also birthmarks that will remain on your Sim. So there's a lot of new skin details coming that I think will make our Sims feel much more alive and much more grounded as well. And this is just one of those little things. So you can see a nice wide range of them here. And they have a bunch of different colors here that they designed to sort of go along with all the different skin tones so that they look right and natural depending on which kind of toddler or infant you have. So they're not only for the face, but they are also for the body. And as you can see, they've added a few different swatches to help it blend in with all the different skin tones so that they look natural no matter which Sim that you're putting them on. There are birthmarks available for adults as well. This is all base game stuff still. Like this whole video we've been doing is all base game. So you can see it's here on Eliza's face. There's also body ones. They've also added other skin details like stretch marks and C-section scars as well. So yeah, it just adds a lot more details to the Sims to be able to tell those stories. And they're getting better at adding these things in over time. Like recently we got a few medical wearables. So hopefully they're going to keep going down this path and adding more things to be able to represent more people. And I think it's good. I think it's really, really cool, actually. So one last thing in Creator Sim that they did is under the more details for your Sim's gender settings, you can actually select whether this Sim produces milk or not, because I've actually added a new option in game that allows you to set the feeding preference for a baby, whether it's bottle fed or breastfed. So this option also coincides with that. So you can sort of apply that to any Sim, which is a nice new addition to have. All right, so we're gonna give the new infant a bath. They're only showing off like 10 minutes of gameplay with the infants here, so I guess we're not gonna see everything, but we do see a few cute little interactions like, you know, infant crawling around there, which I don't know, the crawling and moving animations are so adorable. And you can see here they've actually added like a little chair in the bathtub for the infant. So this update is not just adding this new little life stage. I mean, they've added so many supporting elements with the animations, little details as well. Like all the interactions that Eliza is doing right now. She's got the sponge, the chair. I mean, they've done so much of this, and I'm really actually excited to have a family for the first time since a long time, really. So they also added this new attachment system to newborns and infants, where if they're neglected and sort of left crying for a long period of time, they will start feeling neglected and, a little bit distant from the parents. But if you're tending to them, interacting with them a lot, they'll feel much more attached, and you'll get that sort of really sweet parental bond between yourself and the infant or newborn. And the way you can tell the actual progress of what you're doing, whether it's working or not, or whether it's going the wrong way, if you go over to the infants, you can actually see they will have little moodlets there that you can see what's going on. So in this case, well cared for. Most of Amelia's needs are attended to in prompt fashion. There's not much more she could ask for, and that will obviously give her a little mood boost, but it also gives you the feedback to know how you're actually interacting with your children, which is really nice. So an example of this system in play is if their attachment is low and they start crying, they're actually going to feel more sad while crying because their attachment level is low. Basically, if your sim hasn't tended to them in the past as quickly as you probably should have, then they're going to be a little bit more sad. If their attachment is high, on the other hand, they're going to expect, they're going to feel comfortable that someone's going to come to them when they're crying and they're going to be cared for. So it's just a little system in that sense that will affect their mood and general happiness, So depending on, how well you develop the attachment or not, there's actually 3 different reward traits you can get for when the infant ages up. So there's like a happy one, there's a great one, and then also the one where if you neglect them, they don't really trust anyone. So we'll obviously learn more about those with the update. There's a few different options. So those will affect, how the child develops as they age up there as well. So one huge thing they've done or claim to have done is actually fixed the high chair. They've put a lot of work into it to make it function properly and not get the child stuck in it. So we can only hope that rings true. But this is also really exciting. So help Amelia try first baby food. There's so many different foods in here. You can see how big the scroll bar is there. And on the right, you can see it says never tried. So when they try it, you'll be able to see an update on whether they like it or dislike it. You can figure out what their taste preferences are through this system here and having them try the food in the high chair. Oh, there you go. Here comes the aeroplane. Yay! So we can see up here, Amelia was unsure about mashed peas. Maybe this food will need to be explored again. Okay, so she hasn't quite decided. So you can see the sort of their little preferences system like developing. And I think that really plays in to the whole updated likes and dislikes that they've done, coming with growing together as well. Like that's a whole other thing, which we'll have to look at later. Oh my God, the infant, look at the food on the hands. So because Amelia, the infant here, is cautious, that's why she was sort of more likely to be unsure about the mashed peas, because she's slow to warm up to new things. And that's sort of how that plays into this aspect of the food anyway. And one of the differences with those traits for infants. So here we can see they've added in the option for choose feeding preference, which is what I was talking about before, and create a sim where the sim could either produce or not produce milk. So obviously if you can produce milk, you can choose a preference of which one your sim will always do. So you don't have to select it every single time like we currently do. Now, depending on what your preference is, that'll happen every time you choose to feed the baby, which is good. So it just means you don't have to select it every single time. It's a little bit more seamless and streamlined. I love how the infants are like kneeling on the ground like that, just playing with the toys and the blocks. And they're about to show off how the children can interact with the toddlers as well. So you can see here that the kid is playing peekaboo with the infant. Oh no! Amelia was crying. Oh, that did not go well, but that's super cute that they can play peekaboo together. So on this crib here, you can see they've actually upgraded it to add a mobile on top of it, which is pretty cool. And they said there's 2 different ones. There's this one with birds, and then there's ones with like rocket ships. So not only can you convert this crib into a toddler bed, but you can also upgrade the crib to have like a mobile on top as well. So it's got a few different ways you can customize it beyond just the built-in colors, which I think is really nice. So not only is it just a visual upgrade, but it actually helps soothe the infants to go to sleep. And what they were mentioning is sometimes you have to soothe them yourself to get them to sleep, but this will obviously help along with that and they'll get to sleep quicker. So instead of having to, soothe them to sleep yourself, you can actually click on the crib with this upgrade and select to play a lullaby, and you can just choose on the lullabies and it will start playing and, you know, soothe the infant to sleep. So it's really cute. It just spins around, you get the little music playing, and look, infant's already asleep. It's so cute. So the last little bit of information they gave is they added a whole bunch of cross-pack compatibility for infants. It is not just the base game update. Infants can pat dogs and cats and interact with them. And in parenthood, the parenting skill is actually going to unlock more abilities to care for infants. And actually, really interestingly, in Nifty Knitting, the stuff pack, they added a whole bunch of onesies you can knit for the infants as well. So this is a really big update, and it's not just for the base game. It like changes a whole bunch of packs, adds a whole bunch of new interactions with a bunch of different stuff. And that's pretty much where they left it for today with the infants. We only saw a little bit of the gameplay with the infants. But even still, it's taken me an hour to just go through it and have a look at it all. And in this particular live stream, I'm only 37 minutes in, and there's like another hour and there's another 2 hours for growing together. But I'm gonna leave this video here because this was just to look at the free base game update for everyone. This didn't even include everything in the base game update. There's a bunch of other stuff as well that they've also announced, like the Pie menu update. When you click on a sim and do social interactions with them, there's a huge new overhaul coming for that, which of course we will see soon. We'll probably do a video on the actual update when it comes out because I think there's a lot to look at. But that is a look at all the new infant stuff coming to base game, which, like I said, quite frankly, at the beginning of this, I think this is going to change a lot of the way we play, not just with infants, but also with toddlers. Because a lot of those updates also apply to toddlers. Like, for example, the high chairs. It's going to be nice, fingers crossed, to actually be able to use the high chairs. Because it's, the way I feed toddlers at the moment is grabbing a plate and putting it on the floor. So if I can properly feed them, that'll be nice. But let me know what you guys think about this base game update. If you guys are excited for it, if you're looking forward to it. Coming out, they said March 14th for everyone. So PC, Mac, console, get ready to have 100 babies. It's gonna get rough. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching and have an awesome day.